Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and welcome back to Alternate Cut. Now, keeping with our theme of October and Halloween, today we're going to be talking about Rob Zombie's Halloween, the work print. Now, this was a first time watch for me. Joe has an interesting story about how he got this, but I'll let him tell it on his video. And for this video, since there's so many different scenes, I'm going to be concentrating mainly on um, the scenes that I feel have weight. Because there's a lot of scenes that are just like him walking down the hallway or an extra line or two here or there that really don't affect the movie that much. Now, from what I am to understand, this was Rob Zombie's. This is what he wanted to put out, and they put it in front of a test audience, and the test audience did not like it. Surprise, surprise. I kind of wonder if there were even Halloween fans in there, or even horror movie fans for that matter. I would hope so, but you never know these days. So, like I said, we're just going to be focusing on the scenes that I feel have weight. Um, the beginning pretty much starts out the same, and this is going to be a little one. There's not much weight to this, but I just thought it was kind of cool. In Rob Zombie's Halloween, the one that got released, it starts out with God of Thunder from Kiss. Well, this one's a little bit different because it starts out with the Monster Mash, which I thought was interesting. And I'm not really sure. I'm not sure about the change because I love Kiss, don't get me wrong, but I also love the Monster Mash. So, that could go either way for me. Now, when after um, Michael Myers gets in trouble at school, and his mom is talking to Dr. Loomis in the office, and Michael Myers runs away, runs down the hall, and leaves to go home. That's a pretty big change because everything's the same except for we have opening credits, where Halloween doesn't have opening credits, and that's where the opening credits start. And I thought that was pretty cool. It was done really well. Don't understand why they changed it. I don't know. Anybody's guess on that one. The next scene I feel like is pretty big. Is you actually see Michael pulling up the gravestone of Judith Myers. We never saw that in either of the cuts that got released. It kind of goes over to Captain Spaulding and Dr. Loomis talking about, recreating that part in the film. And I thought it was kind of neat that you get to see Michael actually pull this out of the ground because you get a kind of an idea of how strong he is. The next part is the Bob scene. Now, of course, the iconic scene in the original film was where Michael Myers pins Bob up against the wall with a knife and, tilts his head, the whole, the whole deal. This one is different because he actually, when Bob goes out to get some beers for Linda, he pulls Bob into the van and kills him that way. And I thought that was kind of important. People complain about shot for shot remakes, and clearly that's not what Rob Zombie wanted to do with Halloween. And that kind of proves it right there. But instead, we get Bob pinned up against the wall again because people didn't like it. Go figure. And the last part I wanted to talk about, this is full of different things. Actually, there's two more parts I want to talk about. This is full of different things, but like I said, it's only like a small scene here, a small scene there. For example, the last time Michael speaks, he's speaking to Dr. Loomis, and he's getting frustrated because he wants to leave. Now, part of that is in the film, but it goes a little bit deeper where he's getting really frustrated and he wants to get out of there. And Loomis is explaining to him why he can't leave. Um, does it affect the film? Not really, but that is one of the extra little tiny differences in the film. Now, the next scene, I'm not really sure how I feel about it because I like it done both ways. Like I said, this was my first time watch. Now, the scene that I'm talking about is when Laurie is outside waiting on Annie to pick her up, and she's sitting with her parents, and they're talking about Halloween and this, that, and the other thing. And all of a sudden, when after she leaves, there's a terrific jump scare where Michael just brutally grabs the husband and pushes him back in, and that's where he kills the parents. Well, in the work print, it's different. And I really like the difference. I'm just not sure which one I prefer. Because you can't do both. Because obviously, if you do both, it won't be a jump scare anymore. And for those people who don't like jump scares, this may be for you. So you see Michael coming up the walkway towards the house, just walking up nonchalant up the walkway, and the father's kind of laughing and aren't you a little too old to be trick or treating, this, that, and the other thing, and he ends up brutally killing him and the mom. Basically almost everything's the same. But the big difference in this film, the biggest difference, in my opinion, is the ending. Now you have your theatrical cut, you have your extended cut, which gives you two different endings of Rob Zombie's Halloween. Well, this is yet a different ending. And I'm going to spoil it because I don't know if a lot of people will be able to see this. I'm just not sure. But this is actually the ending that I prefer. So, after Loomis shoots Michael in the pool and he rescues Laurie, they go out front and Michael busts through the door and grabs her and holds her at knife point. Meanwhile, all the cops drive up and they're all pointing their guns at Michael. And of course, Loomis is there saying, "Take me, leave her be. I failed you, this, that, and the other thing." He's trying to get his redemption and to get Michael to leave Laurie alone. And I guess the last bit of humanity that Michael has, he ends up letting Laurie go. And after that, there's a whole bunch of gunfire because they just light him up. And that's the end, more or less. Um, Rob Zombie never intended to make a second Halloween. So it was going to end right there. And I think that was an interesting way. Don't get me wrong, I love Halloween too. So I'm glad he made it, but I think that was a really interesting way to end it. So hope you guys enjoyed my video. I hope you got something out of it. Like I said, there's a ton of things that are different about this, but most of them don't really matter, even though it's really neat to see it, to experience it if you're a Halloween fan. So yeah, um, not sure I should say check this out because I don't know if you can, but check out Joe's video, and who knows, he'll probably have more to say than I did. So remember, guys, physical media matters. And until next time, peace.